Shadrach, and I would like to take you through my point of sale system. The name of the point of sale system is TechoPOS. TechoPOS is a desktop-based point of sale system that will help you manage your sales. It will help you to manage your stocks. It will help you to manage also your customers, both credit customers and your regular customers. It will also help you to manage your suppliers and purchases. This is the login page. You can log in either using the RFID cards or using a login pin. So I will enter my login pin. Once I enter the login pin, it will redirect me to this page, choosing where I want to go. So I can start with the POS part. When I select that, it will direct me to the selling point. Once you log in, the system is able to give you a low stock alert. If you want to check the item, you can just say yes, and then it will load the items for you and show you the quantities available and your reorder point and the items. So let me go back to this point. Once you want to sell an item, you can just come to this barcode stroke item text box. You can either scan the barcode if the item has a barcode, or you can just search the item. Maybe you can just do something like let me search. If you type a keyword, then you click enter, it will populate for you the items with the keyword that you have typed, and then it will show you the item, the selling rate, the wholesale sales rate, and then the available stock. So I'll select my item mara moja from so you can see. Then it will now populate from here. I can change the quantity using this button. I can add using this one and minus using this one. You can also come to this change quantity or F5 on the keyboard. You can enter the quantities you want to sell, maybe 10 pieces. The system will auto compute. If you have a touch screen monitor, you can use these display buttons. Once you click the button, it will populate for you the items in that category. These are the categories. As you can see from here, we have the airtime, beauty, detergents, disposables, foils. So the categories will determine on your kind of enterprise. So click on foils to give you the items on the foils, and then you can just click. To finalize this sale, you can just go to either pay, or if the customer has paid on just cash only, it's not a split payment, it's not a mobile money payment, it's not a bank, or it's not a credit customer, you can just go to this button here on quick settle. But if it's it has a split button, it has a split payment, maybe for example customers paid halfway M-Pesa, halfway cash, you can just go to pay. Then you can enter the amount for cash. You enter the amount for cash first. So I'll enter like 500, and then I will select cash or press F1 on the keyboard, and then the balance, let's say the customer has paid using mobile money payments or credit card or you can select the payment mode from here. Mobile money payments, you go to wallet, and then you will have your list of mobile money payments from there, maybe Airtel Money, M-Pesa, and all that depending on the country of use. So I will select M-Pesa, and then as you can see, my payment is split. The same goes to my reports, my daily reports. If I go to I can be able to know cash was this amount and M-Pesa was this amount. If it's a supermarket, it's your enterprise is a supermarket, then you can maybe have the loyalty cards. Someone can swap it through the loyalty cards if they have earned enough points to redeem the amount they are supposed to pay at the moment. You also use the debit cards, the credit cards, and also if it's a credit customer, you can just click on the credit customer and then it will give you the list of credit customers you have and their balances, and you can also set the credit limit. I'll show you that on the back office part. So after I am done splitting my payment or entering my payment details, I will go to complete cell. Then it will give me the options of printing. Depending on the printer you are using, you can be able to print all the 4 formats: 80mm, A4, A5, or 50mm. If I don't want to print, I can just say save only. That cell will save, but it will not print. I can select A4 for now, with the details of the shop, the details of the items that have been purchased, with the payment information, and then the email. This is now the company. It captures the company email. You can just now click on print, and then you can select from your list of printers you want to print to, and then print. So that's about doing the sales. We have now discounting. You can do item based discount. Let's say, for example, let me just select anything. I want to do a bill discount on this Oxford set clear. I'll select the item and then go to item discount. I can be able to change if I want to give it in percentage or in amount. If I want to give it in percentage, I'll select it and then enter the percentage. If it's the amount, I'll select the amount and enter the amount of discount. Let's say I want to give a 20 shillings discount. I will enter. So it will deduct for that, just that item. If I want a full bill discount, I'll not need to select anything. I'll just go to the bill discount and then I will give a full bill discount. Let's say it's 2% of the total amount. Then it will deduct. We also have this change rate, depending on whether a user has the right to adjust the rate for the items that he or she has sold. You can change an item rate. This applies to places where bargaining is allowed. You can set the minimum selling cost, and if there is no bargaining, then it means the standard retail price is the minimum selling rate, so it cannot sell beyond that. If, for example, I try to sell this at 400 and the minimum sell rate it's above 400, then it will not allow you to change that rate beyond that. So it will give you a warning that the minimum selling price for the selected item is blah blah blah. So let's click that. You can also manage your credit customers from here, depending on whether the user who has the access to the front office or the POS part has access as the rights to do customer management. Once I click this button, it will bring me to this window. We can do credit customer registration and credit customer receipt. This is where you capture the details of your credit customers, the name. For example, I'll have to have my name here, address, Nairobi, contact number, PIN. This is a KRI PIN or a tax identification number, depending on where you are located. I'll leave that one blank. Then opening balances, if they have any pending balances they have not paid, and then the credit limit. If I set the credit limit at 1,000, once my credit has reached 1,000, I cannot be able to the system cannot be able to sell to me on credit basis until I have cleared these the pending bill. I'll have to save this now for now. So let me go back to let me do a transaction using the credit customer page. I'll now select the credit customer, and I'll select myself. So it'll tell me the credit limit is 1,000, and the amount, as you can see over here, it's 1,305. So it cannot allow the user to sell anything to me on credit basis. Remove, go to pay. I'll have to remove this, then select again, complete sale. I don't want to print the receipt, so I'll just say save only. Once the customer needs to pay for something, then I go to credit customer, then select receipt. You can select the customer, and then it will show you the amount due for that customer. The amount due for that customer is 2,400. So they can also do partial payments. If I do a payment for 1,000 for that customer and they have paid in cash, and then I'll select. You can select the payment mode from here. You can select the payment mode from here: cash, check, debit card, and M-Pesa. But for now, I'll leave it at cash. Then I'll select. I'll do a save. Once I go to the credit customer ledger and then select the customer, I can view the report, and then it will tell me the opening balance as at this date was 2,400. That was the debt that was there, and then the customer did a payment, which in my case it will now come as a receipt of 1,000, and then it will deduct from the amount due that was due, and then it will give you the closing balance as at that date. You can also generate the receipt. We can also do a printout. This RP is for the small receipt, the 80 millimeters. You can also do an A4 printout. These are the details. You can send maybe this to the customer or print for them if they need the receipt to show they have paid this amount on this date. Then we have a sales return, when a customer has bought something and maybe they have gone and found it's faulty or it has some defects, then they have to return it. Then you can now select the invoice. The invoice that, then you can select the items, enter the return quantity, and then you can save. You can also get you can also do a printout of all of the return. It will give you a credit note. You can now do a printout of the credit note, and then you can also do a quotation using the system. Then you can also convert those quotations to an invoice. So you go to new quotations, enter the items and the prices, and then you will have to select the customer you are doing the quotation to. If the customer is not available in the system, then you can now do an ad, enter the name, address, contact, PIN, rate type. These rate types I'll show you at the back office. But the system allows you to have like 6 different rates in the system. Then when you have done your quotations, you can go to quotation list, select the quotation, and then it will populate here just as an invoice. You can also do product entries from here using that product entry button. That this is for adding a new item that is not existing in the database into the system. We will also see that in the back office in detail. So for now I'll have to go to back office. So instead of logging out, I'll have to go to back office from that button. So this is back office window. We have all these items, the master entries, settings, banking, inventory, customer, both credit and regular, general customers, loyalty cards, your records, reports, databases, tools about the system, See, do not distribute this computer program without permission of its owner. Then you can log out. You can also change the themes depending on your preferences. So let's begin with the master entries. I'll go the company master. This is the information of the enterprise. This is what will be printing on the receipts. You can also upload a logo if you have your own logo for the company. Then I'll go to the log trail. The log trail shows all the activities that have taken place in the system at a certain time. So you can select per user. You can go to maybe admin, then get data to show you for that particular date or for that particular period that you have selected what has transpired in the system. Admin at this date, on this date, at this time, successfully logged out, logged in, logged out, added new invoice, and all that. You can also search for other users, what has gone on in the system at what time. Then do your tax settings from here, the tax type, VAT, or maybe exempted tax setting, whether the prices are inclusive or exclusive of VAT. So you set your percentages from here. The VAT, what's the percentage? It's 16. Then I can update. If I don't want any VAT, you can just leave it at 0. If you want to compute any taxes. Then we have the unit master. This is the unit of sell and purchase pieces, cartons, grams, packages, pairs. You can also assign user rights using the system from here. You just go to user rights, select the user. If, for example, for the admin, I have all the rights. You can go maybe to Esther, because you can see the ones which are ticked are the rights which she can have access to. We have also have this buy X get Y promotion. This is basically the promotion that comes in like in the name of buy two get one free, and then the system can also manage the stocks for even for the free items that have been given. We have also have the discount setting. You can give a certain user the maximum amount of discount they are allowed to give. For example, if you give a user the 2% discount, they cannot give 2.1% discount. The system will not allow. So that's about the settings. Wallet is registering your mobile money payments in the system, Airtel Money. We also have the user registration. This is where you manage your system users. It's unlimited. You have unlimited number of users in the system. We have a payroll from here. The payroll is on monthly basis or hourly basis. On the registration, you can see there is this the payroll type option. Select if the user is paid on hourly basis or monthly basis. So that's where the hourly basis comes in now. It is able to count the hours you have been at work, and then you can enter your rate per hour, the gross pay, the deductions needed, the NHIF, NSSF, payee, and then it will give you the net payment. Monthly, just select the employees for monthly, select the month you are paying them for, enter the amount, deductions, and save, and then you can get a pay slip from that. The salesman master is when you have someone who sells items for you, and then you pay them on commission basis. You register them from here, and then their percentage, the commission percentage, and then when they sell the items, you can now attach them to the items they have sold on front office on the POS, and then the system will compute commission. We have the item categories from here. Depending on your enterprises, you can have your categories, maybe cosmetics, electronics, plumbing, hardwares, just depending on the enterprise. You enter the categories from here. Every item has to be attached to its categories. You can be able to know which category is selling better than the other. And then now we have the product master here. You enter the product name. You can now select the category from the list of categories that you have, and if you don't have the category from here, you don't have to go way back. You can just add the category from here and then select the category from your list of categories. For example, let me add an item here. A soft drink, tax, commodities, VAT, purchases, pays. Let me assume purchase for this is the amount, then selling is per piece, then I'll enter the selling amount, which is 50 shillings, and then you can if you are selling maybe on wholesale also, you can have your wholesale selling price. Then you can also have the reorder point, reorder level. Let me say reorder level for me for this item is 12. Then I will enter the opening stock information. If the item is maybe in this warehouse, you can select the warehouse, but if it's in the shop or selling area, it's now called the store, where the selling point. And then I will select the selling point, which is the name of the shop. And then I will now enter the quantities available for that item, and then I will add this data to the grid, and then I will just save. It's just as simple as that. Now we have these rates for regular customers, special rates for regular customers. If you don't want it to be the same as the retail cost, you can just untick this one and then enter the rates. Rate 1, rate 2, rate 3, and rate 4, and then for the different customers you can select the rate. So that's about adding the product name, a new product into the system. You can also manage your list of suppliers from here. As you can see, for now I have 12 suppliers. This is system generated. You can get data and then see the list of suppliers that I have. You can add new supplier name, address line 1, line 2, line 3, postal code, the contact information, KRI PIN. This is the tax identification number. Then opening balances, see they have bank details, and then you save. Credit customer, it's the same as we saw on the front office. Quotation, you can do a quotation so from the back office. Do a quotation, select your customer, save it, print, and maybe you can send it to them via email or print for them. Now you can come to purchase. Once you have purchased something, item, and they have been delivered to you by the supplier, now you go to purchase for those items to update in the system. You go to purchase, select your supplier, and then now you can enter the items. You can always maybe type the keywords, press enter, and then select, enter the quantity, or you can scan the barcode if the items have barcodes, and then enter the quantity as well, add, and then you can save. It will compute for you the total amount, the VAT, the subtotal, the VAT, if there's any previous due, and then give you the totals for that purchase. Maybe let me save that for now. You can also do a purchase return in case you purchase something and then it was brought in faulty or maybe expired or something of the sort that warrants a return. You can select return, then the purchase invoice number, select the item you are returning, enter the quantity, add, then save. You can also now print a debit note to show you have returned these items. Sell return. You can also do a sell return from back office. Select the sales invoice number, the item, select the item, enter the quantity, add, and then save. You can also do the printout of the credit note. We have this stock adjustment. Stock adjustment occurs in the event the items in the system and the physical count are not tallying. It could be due to maybe breakages, maybe items have been stolen, or just something has happened and the items are not tallying. So you can go to either the store or the warehouse. You just can load products, and then once you select the product you want to adjust the stock for, then you can select the adjustment type. Is it plus or you are minusing, the quantity you are adjusting, and what is the reason for adjustment. If, for example, I select it's -5 and I try to save without entering the reason, the system will not agree to that. It will tell you to enter the reason. Until you enter a reason, the system will not save that adjustment. The same applies to the store. The warehouse, I mean, you select the warehouse from the list of warehouses, enter the product name, or select or scan the barcode, adjustment type, quantity, and then the reason for adjustment. We have this button for payment. This is basically for supplier payment. Once you select the supplier, you can see the amount that is due, that is not being paid to them. For example, this Kanjawa, this is the amount I have not paid to them. So if I want to pay this amount, for example, I want to pay it using M-Pesa, I can select the payment mode M-Pesa, and then I will enter the amount I want to pay. For now I want to pay 1,000, and then I will save. So the system will deduct this 1,000 from his amount, and then I will have a balance of 977.8. Alright. Now you can also manage your expenses using the system. Electricity bills, rent, water bills, and any other expense that the enterprise encounters. For example, we have this kind of the expense was just a manual labor. You also have another one over here, it's manual labor. You also have another one here, you bought something for the shop that won't be going to the sales. That comes in as an expense. And then you have the POS record. This is your list of sales for that day. And then we have this POS report. You can be able to see from whatever date it is up to date. This is an overall kind of report. It's like a Z report. It gives you a breakdown of what has been sold, and maybe transaction with the system, cash sales, expenses that were in cash, sales return that were in cash, that affected cash, I mean, supplier payment that were in cash, customer receipts that were in cash, and then it will do that computation and tell you this is the amount you should be having as cash in hand at the moment. And then it will give you a breakdown of all user sales. Every user who has done a sale in the system, it will give you a breakdown of the amounts they have sold. Payment modes as well. Cash was this amount, credit customer was this amount, M-Pesa was this amount. What's the total amount? If there is any change returned for that period, it will give you that breakdown. Sales by till ID. By till ID, it means the different computers attached to the main server. It will compute for every computer the amount of sales they have made. Sales by item category, quantities by item category. So from here you can know which category is selling most. Then quantities by item. And then on every breakdown it gives you the total amount of sales. There is also another kind of report from here. You'll be able to know invoice number 1 sold this amount, invoice number 2 this amount, and other. You can also view this one on the category, the item, the purchase rate, blah blah, margin, total amount, and then at the end of the day you will be able to know your total margin for the day or for that period you have selected, and what was the total amount of sales, if there are any bill discounts, and then give you the net profit. Then we also have this kind of a sales history. It's a breakdown of a daily sales history. Like you can be able to know on this date I sold this amount, we did purchases for this amount. Give you a breakdown of all maybe your purchases and all your sales, and also credit sales, credit payments, and then credit card and debit card payments per our transactions. And you can also be able to see your top selling items, and all these other reports. You can also be able to know also on hourly basis, from this on this date, from this hour to this hour, how much has been sold, so you can be able to track the most busy times of your enterprise. You also have these other accounting reports from here. Now you have the purchase daybook, purchase inventory items. For example, if I load reports for whatever I have purchased today, it will give you a total breakdown of all the purchases I have done today. And also you can be able to search by item, and then you can be able to change the periods, maybe date from and date to. Then you can be able to see for that period you have selected how much you have bought for that particular item. Return reports, supplier payments. You can be able to know today I've done this supplier payment. Is there a customer receipt? You can also be able to know this customer has paid. Supplier outstanding. You can also be able to know how much you need to pay to your different suppliers. Customer outstanding, the amount that various customers have not paid. Your expenses, if you have any daily expenses for that day or for that period, sales tax, purchase tax, and then it can do for you a tax summary. You can be able to know the tax liability you need to pay to the government. Then we have a profit and loss report here that does for you the gross profit on purchase and sales, but in relation to purchase and sales rate. Then to do for you the expenses, bill discounts, and then sales returns, and then give you the net profit for that period you have selected. Then we have now dashboard. This is a dashboard that can give you a breakdown of all the transactions that have taken place for the whole day, or for maybe a certain period of time. You can say total sales in cash, total sales, and then total purchases, total receipts, total quotations, total expenses, total purchase orders, total sales return, total purchase return, and also total payments. You also have another breakdown here also. Total invoices generated by the system, total cash sales, total taxes, purchases, expenses, and all that. Then you also have your inventory from here. You can know the available quantities. Just click on the quantities above 0, and then the system is able to do for you the total stock valuation for sales and purchase. out of stock, you can also be able to get the breakdown from there, and then you will know what you need to reorder. Low stock, the items that are below the reorder levels, or expired items if your enterprise deals with items that can expire. We also have a supplier ledger from here. As you can see, opening balance at this day was 0.8. I did a purchase worth this amount, and then I did a payment worth this amount. So this is my balance. This is the balance I need to pay to that supplier. So you can be able to generate your supplier ledgers using the system. You also have a cash book from here. You can be able to know any cash all the cash transactions that have taken place for that day. You can also be able to know all the M-Pesa transactions that have taken place of the day, check reports, credit card or debit cards. Then we also have a stock card here. This is how the stock card works. Say for example this Amara. I select that item, and then I'll change this date from maybe 2022, and I'll need to get data of all the transactions that have occurred in the system for that particular item. I can view the report. So it will tell me on that of November 2023 that was the opening stock for that item. And then on 27th I did a purchase entry of the same item of 3 quantities, so totaling to 7. So in any case you have some variances, you can be able to track where it occurred. Maybe it's a sale that was never captured in the system or something, using the stock card. And then the salesman ledger from here, you'll be able to view their ledger if you have any salesman and their commissions. Also be able to view your all available stocks from here, and then give a breakdown of the total stock valuation for sales and total stock valuation of purchase. And with that, I have come to the end of my demo. If you have any inquiries, you can just contact me. I'll give my number over there. You can contact me for installation, and for charges kindly contact me, and then I will give you the details you need. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.